Hello, everybody, guys, gals, and pals, and welcome back to the Issue Crew podcast, the show where we all have problems with our lives and with each other. I am your host and your debate moderator for tonight because we're going to have a heated debate between two opposing political commentators. First off, we have Squeebo the Last, who is a leftist with pronouns that goes to preschool. Squeebo, hello.
Hello, Demi. Thank you very much.
And opposing Squeebo, we have Moediggity, who nowadays describes himself as a libertarian, but was actually an active progressive back in the early 1820s.
Yes, the early 1820s.
Back when the Young Turks was first forming. And also Riley's here.
Yeah, so you know those old men from the Muppets?
No.
I'm basically serving that purpose tonight. Mo knows. Mo gets it.
I love
Yeah,
the Muppets.
I know, because I'm fucking old, and yeah, I do love the Muppets. They're two of my favorite characters.
Yeah, so you know those old men from the Muppets who are just occasionally mean to the Muppets while they're doing their show and just like crack mean jokes? That's me. I'm here to
Oh, those guys. I know those guys. I've seen a
Of course you
couple
know
of those
those guys.
movies.
Those movies are
Yeah.
fucking great.
Do we have anything we want to talk about, or do we want to just get straight into the debate?
I mean, it's kind of funny how everything sort of like is falling apart on the internet right now, especially on Twitter. Like, say what you want about Elon Musk taking over it. It has been sort of a fun little ride if you're just like standing back and just silently observing with the occasional shit post or two. It's been a whole lot of fun. Mainly, I guess I'm talking about how, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but iDubbbz fucking had his little apology for, I'm sorry for saying bad things back in the day in my videos. And everyone's been like either calling him out or siding with him. And I think that the possibilities of a Twitter internet civil war are brewing, because like so many people have so many fucking strong opinions on that, man. It's just fucking crazy.
See, everybody knows that I am like a leftist cuck, and I'm also super edgy. So I have like a devil and an angel on my shoulder when it comes to like people like iDubbbz. I'm solidly against iDubbbz at this point in my life, but I still have this devil and angel on my shoulder that want to defend him and also attack him. But watching that apology video, he really just triggered the shit out of both of them. It was just a really bad response. It seemed like he just kind of bit a lot of bullets that he didn't need to. He was like, yes, I know that I was a terrible person and I should kill myself. And it's like, that's not what we were criticizing you for. We were criticizing, long story short, it felt like a cop-out, honestly. It didn't seem like he actually addressed the problems with his content. And he really kind of was just like, okay, everybody shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
I mean, you think to yourself, what it would just been better if you just didn't say anything at all and never brought it up.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he was doing a better job when he was just like, I didn't like the audience that I fostered and I've changed. I still think he's I still don't believe that it's sincere, given a lot of his history and just who he is as a person. But that was a much better response than, I'm sorry, I'm going to kill myself now because I was such a terrible person.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at all that stuff, it's like, well, I mean, you can just say, I don't do that stuff anymore. But the worst thing that an artist or any kind of like quote unquote content creator, to use sort of a modern day vernacular for it kind of sucks that people when content creators and artists and stuff apologize for their former art, like not just you guys stand out.
Okay, Mo. Are you calling iDubbbz calling Tana Mongeau art? Whoa, that's kind of
yes, that's funny. That's fucking funny as shit. I laughed my ass off at that, and his fucking lead up to that moment. Because the great thing about that video, it's the moment. It's all the stuff building up to it and all that, and then all of a sudden, say blank, and like, dude, the look on her face, it's fucking priceless. And you have to appreciate moments like that because life is offensive, and you're not gonna go anywhere being offended all the time. It's just a fact of fucking life. And you don't have to like it or anything. Just expect it.
With the iDubbbz situation, I feel like his apology video was like the equivalent of if you're in like an abusive relationship and you criticize your partner or parent or whoever the fuck it is that you're being abused by. You're like, hi, you drink too much, and I think that is unhealthy for our relationship. I'm like, wow, okay, I get it. I'm a fucking piece of shit. Wow, like that's what the iDubbbz response felt like, and I was very soy, very cringe.
What is Squeebo screen sharing? I'm the screen share.
We're not allowed to
police
screen
around these
share on
parts.
here.
Really?
Yeah, we get
That's-
yelled at by Riley if we screen share or play video games during.
Because the audience can't see it.
Squeebo
Yeah.
screen sharing a video game during this political debate that they're about to have.
I'm playing Papa's Freezeria.
Well,
What the hell is that?
no, you're not.
You laugh,
And
Riley, but
please
that's what every
continue
debate
to
streamer
do
does.
that.
They always have a video
Yeah.
game on
I
with their
learned
face
it from
cam.
the best, aka Vosh.
Oh, I was going to say Destiny because Destiny's always playing fucking StarCraft 2 or fucking Factorio, two of my favorite RTS games.
All I
Yeah.
ask is to be able to reasonably believe that
Yes.
you're not playing a video game.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
it'd be really funny if at least the three of us just got on like StarCraft 2 or Factorio while we're doing
Yeah,
this.
who wants to? Who wants
It'd be
to
funny if we
drop
didn't do
off
that
my
bit on
custom
this
Roblox
show
lobby?
100 times.
All right.
Anyways, are we ready to start the debate?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think
Alright.
so.
So our two contestants are going to debate 4 topics tonight. We might get off topic. We might talk about other things within these topics. But there are going to be 4 main discussions. In order: centrism, immigration, Ukraine. I'm assuming the war in Ukraine,
Yeah.
or the invasion and how people have responded to it, and then gun control. So a pretty nice variety of topics that are, loosely connected in modern political discourse. I'm going to offer them each an opening statement, and then after that, it's kind of whatever goes. And if somebody needs to shut the hell up, I'll tell them to shut the hell up and let the other person speak. But other than that, I think we're going to have a pretty respectful conversation, and I won't need to poke the fire too much. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, Demigloom.
no, go on.
I was going to say, I'm going to occasionally make jokes to still convince the people that this is a comedy podcast and maybe ask some questions that are relevant to the debate as well, if I feel like.
Everybody knows me. Everyone who knows me knows that I have actually really strong opinions on these topics, but I'm going to refrain from sharing my own for the sake of being a fair moderator. And that's pretty much it. Does anybody want to go first?
Squeebo, if you like to take the floor first, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. What's your first
so
topic?
on the
Oh,
topic
sorry.
on the topic of centrism, just kind of describe where you stand, where you believe Moediggity stands, and what you would like to talk about.
Yeah. Well, okay. For the record, we really put centrism like in the list here because before recording, Mo said that he had a hot take on it. I brought up centrism in the first place, but I guess like my evaluation of centrism, I feel like it's kind of a cop out in our modern day and age to kind of just say like, and I know of course this isn't all centrists. The way it came up is I called Mo one of the good centrists.
I will ask you to elaborate on why you think I was a centrist, but later on, of course, after your statement.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a cop out when we're talking about human rights and like you're just kind of like, well, I don't want to get too political or like, I don't know. It's a pretty like cold take, but I just think it's dumb to say like, hey, can't we all get along? But I know that's not like all centrism is. I'm sure a self-identified centrist could explain more in depth, but that's not me. I feel pretty strongly about how people in this world are treated. I mean, yeah.
Good,
I don't know.
good so far. You're doing good. Strong opener.
Thank you. I know. And the reason I thought that Mo was a centrist is because he self-identifies, or like I kind of forgot, but like a progressive libertarian, like
early 2000s progressive, but then jaded sort of like flirting with the side of always voting for a Democrat during an election to now just jaded libertarian, which I'll get into later on.
All right, I got you. I feel pretty strongly that most politicians, Democrat or Republican, are right wing, no matter like how they might or what they might tell you. I would definitely put Joe Biden, like if we're talking about like the
Hey,
political.
Squeebo, is your noise cancellation on? I'm hearing clicks and clacks.
Here, sorry. It is not. Thank you. Okay, that's better.
So far, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess if we're talking about like the political, what's it called? The one with like the 4 squares.
Spectrum, the political spectrum.
Oh,
Yes,
political
compass.
compass.
Compass. That's
Compass. Yes.
I love political compass.
You hate it. I think it's a dumbass test.
It's a stupid
like-
test, but it's like sort of silly. You just fucking do it just because you're probably bored and you just want something to do for like 10 minutes.
Like, I've also noticed that like all of the questions are kind of loaded to kind of give you the result that resonates with the creator of the test. You know?
Well, yeah, because
Like-
there's a million questions on there. Like it kind of gives you sort of a black, white, and then kind of a bullshit sort of a gray question, just to say that it's representing all sides. I swear.
Yeah.
And really, it's just there's so many varying shades of gray with a lot of big topic questions. Like, you know, I know you want to talk about the Ukraine and immigration and all that stuff like later on. And there's like a ton of shades of gray, but it also sort of depends on how big that gray chunk is.
Sure.
And I do believe that there's varying points of decent and necessary centrism in some things, but I do feel that for a lot of big topic questions, you should like have the balls to pick a side.
Since this isn't an argument, can I throw something in?
Yeah, totally.
My biggest problem with the political compass, or even like trying to evaluate someone's place on a left-right spectrum, like mathematically, is that essentially when you give a left-winged response to a question, it moves you like 1 square to the left, and if you give a right-winged response to a question, it moves you 1 square to the right. Meaning that somebody who were anti-gun and anti-gay would be moved 1 space to the right for being anti-gay and 1 space to the left for being anti-gun, whereas someone else and that would leave them right dead in the center. And if somebody was pro-gun and pro-gay, they would be moved 1 space to the right and 1 space to the left as well, meaning the two people with the polar opposite opinions, the pro-gay, pro-gun person and the anti-gay, anti-gun person, complete polar opposites are placed in the same exact spot of the political spectrum. Meaning that left-wingedness or right-wingedness is a very difficult thing to measure when we're talking about social issues, at least.
Basically, what you're saying is because Brad took the test and he was leaning left, it's a wrong test, and we need to prove why.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just my pseudoscience because I hate Brad and he's not left.
What did I miss? Did someone that Brad dude take a fucking political compass?
He took
test
the political compass test because Demigloom made a political debate server that is no more because it was bad.
Oh, I remember that thing.
And Demigloom marked Brad as right wing when she was giving out the political roles to him and to everybody else. And Brad was like, I'm a centrist and I'm left leaning, and he took the political compass test, and that proved that.
Listen,
so
he faked it. He faked his results, okay? He just
just
really wants to pretend to be a leftist for no reason. He's conservative.
Every time I heard
He's
that
a centrist.
dude talk,
he was like 1 point to the left. He was right at the center.
Every time I hear that dude talk, though, there's like an awful lot of like right-wing beliefs and not very many left.
Because he lives in the fucking Bible Belt, okay? He's learning.
Yeah, so what? You could be a fucking like weird. You can be a fucking multicolored, fucking haired person or whatever. Be, whatever, and be in the fucking Bible
Just say
Belt.
blue
everyone
hair.
can be. Well, I don't know. I was trying not to say blue hair because I wasn't trying to be like so derogatory or so like specific. I was trying to leave it open.
I'm pretty sure somebody would kill themselves if they heard you call them blue-haired.
I've never heard a take out of Brad that I would consider like so bigoted that I would have to consider him right wing.
Well, I'm not saying that bigotry and right-winged are necessarily like synonymous,
No,
right? You
they're
can be
not
a bigot on the
completely
left.
synonymous. Yeah, for sure.
It's just that social conservatism tends to breed bias and bigotry. My thing with Brad is I think economically he's just like a lunatic, and he seems to me like Joe Rogan or like Dick Masterson or one of these like political commentators that kind of just like has this obsession, whatever the most recent thing they heard of was politically or economically specifically. They just like hear someone's talking like, yeah, that's right, and they like regurgitate it, and then they hear somebody like say the complete opposite thing 2 days later, and they're like, yeah, that's right. Like economically is incoherent. So I think that could have contributed to why he was to the left, but I wouldn't deny him the centrist position at this point.
Okay.
But anyways, we've talked a lot and gotten off topic. Moediggity, are you ready for your opening statement on the topic of centrism?
Sure. All right, so like I said earlier, there are varying degrees of centrism which we do need because, going too far to the left or to the right of a centrist take can like lead to some pretty extreme ideals and ideology and behavior. However, that's not always the case all the time. It just depends on what topic you're talking about specifically. However, I do hate the fact how when politicians will say they don't want to talk about or they don't want to vote for a certain bill, but then they go 2, 3, 4 times voting for that same type of bill or some offshoot to the bill, and they do pull some bullshit like Obama did back in the day before he got into the presidency, when he was still, I believe he was a senator or a congressman. It's been a long time since I thought about the pre-Obama presidency days, but he pulled some bullshit, and the press goes, "Well, I told you, I'm not a Democrat or a progressive. I'm a centrist." Like, no, you've got to stop freaking doing that. Like, you do have to pick a side when it comes to some certain topics. However, if you put forth the effort to try and feel a certain way about a topic, and you just don't feel strongly, left or right, even if it's a fucking immoral, repugnant uh, sort of thing, at least you're trying, and you can't make everyone feel something about everything all the time. That's fucking impossible. It's something that will never be able to be done in humanity unless we put like mind altering drugs or something in the water system, and or maybe we like find a way to like spray everyone with like nanobots or some crazy ass conspiracy theorist stuff, like unless we the government actually has like some sort of like total control mechanism in place to control the ideas of humanity, or at least this country. I don't think that we'll ever be able to be on the same page about everything, and there will be varying shades of gray when it comes to that. And we do need to work in those various shades of gray, because you do find really great solutions, even though sometimes they're right-wing solutions, sometimes they're left-wing solutions, sometimes they're bullshit centrist positions. And, depending on how you fall in the political spectrum, you could feel a real sting or just like a slight prick, during those times. Just depends on how you feel, because I think a lot of people are very centrist about a lot of positions, but because there's that social pressure to perform and to, uh, 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 I guess, put on the proverbial social mask for people, a lot of people will just reflect and echo the sentiment of their neighbor or to their friend to the left or right of them, just for the sake of fitting in. And I think that's the downfall of a centrist mentality in a politically centrist country, because you end up validating that NPC meme. Everyone's just like, popular opinion, good; bad person, bad. And no one really has an opinion about insert topic here. So, in conclusion, we can learn to be centrist, but we also need to have the guts and the spine to pick a side on certain issues, especially if you do truly feel strongly about them. Don't hide in a corner somewhere. Have the guts to say, hey, I believe or I don't believe in blank. That's my statement.
How long was that? How long was that 2-minute opening statement, Demigloom?
Fuck you. All right, that was actually really good. So go fuck yourself, Riely.
Listen, I told you I was the old guys from the Muppets today. That is the role I'm playing.
Okay.
Oh, that was 2 minutes. Like, bitch, I actually fucking put some thought into that. You kissed my head. I tried to keep it 2 minutes, but then, like, you know, it rolls. It rolls. It happens.
It rolls.
Now, obviously, I'll be real with you. I have not witnessed a real political debate, I don't think. So I will ask the moderator's approval for this, but I do have a question to pose to our debaters that is directly relevant to this topic.
Sure.
If that is allowed.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Sure.
So, how do you two feel? Do you feel it is truly morally obligatory for someone to participate in politics? Is it completely morally unacceptable to just want to grill, as the kids would say?
No. Oh, Squeebo, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's an issue at all. But if you're like presented with like a friend or a family member who is like, please send an email to like Congress or like our local politician, like this is like very important to me, I think you should indulge them. Maybe do a little bit of research first. But like, I mean, it is kind of your.
So the answer is yes. It is morally obligatory to participate in politics.
Well, you don't have to like.
Wait, I think what you're saying is that you don't have to like become a political
people should
personality.
vote, and I think people should support the people around them in any way possible. And if that means engaging in political discussions, then yeah, I think you should.
There is a natural limit to that.
Yeah,
but of course,
I agree. There's a limit to everything.
Yeah, because like if there's like an extremist group that sort of takes control in society or something, like I don't want to go, oh yeah, we should blank the blanks, you know, like no, like maybe you should just like, you know, book your ticket out of fucking Dodge, you know, in that case. But yeah, all right, all right. So what was your question one more time, Riely?
Okay, so my question was, is it morally obligatory to participate in politics, or can somebody just want to grill, quote unquote, and that is fine?
Well, if you look at the demographics of this country specifically, you'll find that the biggest block of people are the apathetic, non-voting, I don't care as long as it doesn't affect me sort of masses. I mean, we look at like the right and left-wing vote in this country, and it pales in comparison to the size and I guess apathetic, sort of lethargic presence of like the everyday non-voter, or the I don't really have an opinion strongly one way or another sort of types of people. And there's something to be said about the I just want to grill man. But like Ralph Nader said, if you're not turned on to politics, politics will turn on you. And I think in a way, for your own survival, you should at least be 5% political. Like maybe go, hey, I don't like the president because the president's always bullshitting me. And so is the other one, and so on and so on. Like having sort of and this is just my opinion, Squeebo might differ on this. But having a healthy anti-government attitude has always served me very well. Learning to distrust institutions who constantly bullshit you and like literally like conspire against you, not in an Alex Jonesian sort of way, but in a sort of a mean-spirited sociopath douchebag bully from high school sort of way, who always kind of look down on you. And that could be like the meathead who grew up poor, or the rich asshole that fucking always looked down on you because you wore like Walmart shoes or some shit
fucking
on your first
Biff
day
from
of
Back
school.
to the Future.
Yeah, you got your
hey,
you've got like a spectrum from Montana Max from Tiny Toons and fucking Biff fucking Tamlin from fucking Back to the Future. You know, sort of like that spectrum, you know what I mean? But yeah, for your own survival, I think it's a good idea to be a little bit political. But if you don't, you know, no big deal. You can do that. It's a viable alternative to everything, because you know people talk about the red pill and the blue pill and the black, orange, green, blue, and red fucking
the
pills.
LGBT pill, the rainbow
every,
pill.
Yeah,
Yo, what's
the
the
Omni
orange pill? I
pill.
want to take that one.
The Omni pill.
Where you just
know?
drink Fanta all day and don't care about anything.
Hell yes. Give me that pill now.
The Fanta pill is pretty based in orange pill. But yeah. It's what was I trying to end it with? Healthy skepticism, healthy critical thinking only ever helps to serve you in the long run in a good way. So like I said, you cannot be political and not be involved as much as you want, but ask anyone in WW2 what happens with a political apathy. What happens, how your country is plunged into one world war after another and one fucking horrific action after another. And so that's the price that you pay for non-involvement. And I'm done.
Yeah, to respond to that, I generally agree with your sentiment, but there are a few points that I disagree with.
Of course. Shit. Sorry.
First of all, it is not only the government that is working to dupe you and to make you like a mindless slave. It's also corporate entities.
Oh, of course.
Now,
just for time's sake, I didn't mention every fucking single group of people
sure.
and
totally.
bad faith entity. I was just trying to be as succinct as possible because I do tend to be long-winded.
No problem. Yeah. And sometimes the government and private companies will work together to dupe you and kind of fuck you over. There's so much it's funny, but it's kind of true. There's a lot of milk propaganda.
Like the dairy drink?
Yeah.
Milk?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
National health institutions and the FDA will peddle milk pretty adamantly. Also the amount of sugar and high fructose corn syrup, I believe, is a serious issue in this country. Obesity is it's a serious issue, and the private companies, the corn industry is working with the government, saying here, I'll give you money as long as you don't make it harder for me to put a shit ton of corn syrup in your kids' carrots or something.
Oh yeah, that's how lobbyists work, man. That's why I want to fucking. That's what I. Oh, what's wrong?
Sorry, I just messed up a really important milkshake. Sorry, go ahead.
In real life, right? You wouldn't be playing a video game, would you?
Riely,
The rule is that there has to be reasonable doubt that you're playing a video game.
Sorry, I was just really upset. This is a closer. Okay, sorry. I'm stopping.
I understand. The closers are the toughest ones. I get it.
Well, you got a huge point right there, because the lobbyists in this country have really ruined politics for everybody. I mean, you want to talk about milk and all that stuff and corporate farms in America. How if you really look at the assaults from both the government and some of their little lower level alphabet agencies, like BLM, the Bureau for Land Management. It was BLM.
Okay. I was
BLM was a government thing before BLM was a social thing. Okay,
sure.
You have to differentiate that, because the Bureau for Land Management is significantly, obviously different from the social BLM movement.
Yeah, I got you.
Moediggity just assumes they're all the same.
Oh yeah,
why is the Bureau of Land Management so mad about what these cops are doing?
Yeah, why do they care about social issues? That's so weird. But anyway, as long as those types of things, as long as the assault against the regular American farmer, which kind of was once upon a time the backbone of this country, I'll never worry about big tobacco. I'll never worry about the gun lobbies or the gun industry, because I see a lot more harm in the people who peddle chemicals into our food supply, like high fructose corn syrup you mentioned a moment ago. Some years back, we won the fight against high fructose corn syrup. Fructose. corn syrup. We won the fight against that. And you know what our victory got us? It just got us a renaming of that chemical, and they slightly altered it to where it wouldn't be the makeup, the formula, which is slightly off of that fucking corn syrup formula. So they just fucking renamed it. So yeah, corporations will do everything they can to snuff out the light of hope in humanity. And that's why I don't freak out about cigarettes, and I don't freak out. I don't even freak out about global warming just because lobbyists exist, and I think that they pose a more direct threat to my way of life and to just me living than anything else. Not to say that global warming isn't something you shouldn't pay attention to. I'm just saying I see more immediate threats that I can see with my own two eyes and read about anytime I want. And that shit freaks me the fuck out.
So yeah, you bring up, this is interesting to me. How do we prioritize which industry is, the worst for, modern day America? Is it tobacco? Is it, the corn industry? Is it guns? And I really think, left and real... What? Okay, never mind.
That happens sometimes. You'll have to get used to it.
All right, sorry. Yeah, it's difficult to prioritize which ones are the ones that we should focus the most, but I would have I think this is the first disagreement of the night, but I think I would have to disagree that tobacco and guns aren't an issue.
Well, I didn't say that they necessarily. What?
That's a joke only Demi gets. Don't worry about it.
Okay, buddy.
I didn't hear it.
I said we can't talk about disagreements. Insight isn't here.
Oh, funny. See,
anyway, well, okay. I wouldn't say that tobacco and guns aren't an issue. I think that they're a more the chemical industry and a lot of these Monsanto types of people. I think they should be treated with more of a priority than tobacco and firearms. Because one, I think tobacco is a viable stress reliever, even though it can kill you. But that's the word, though. It could, it can, it might, it maybe could.
It will.
Kill you.
Did you know 100% of people who smoke cigarettes die?
Whoa,
it's true. It's a scary. Scary statistic, but it's
I guess
true.
you got me there then, because I have nothing to argue against.
You can't argue against that point. It's infallible.
It's did you know that within a long enough time scale, everyone's fucking life expectancy goes to 0?
Wait, did you know that 100% of centrists also die? Does that factor into this at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but guys, I need to bring you guys. I need to make you guys aware of a serious issue plaguing America.
Okay.
And it's related to a law that I really want to change.
This is about Papa's Freezeria.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. I swear to God, it's not.
Okay.
So there are pretty much every child nowadays, because of this new stupid law, almost all children are dying due to dehydration because of a law that says that you cannot drink if you are underage. And that's stupid.
Holy shit!
Oh my God!
Not everyone has the money to get water in IV fusions directly into their blood. So basically, what they're doing is making sure that only the 1% survive. The ones that can inject water into them instead of drinking it.
That's crazy. Why aren't more people talking about this? This is a serious issue.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's.
Does that mean we're the 1%?
It's.
Oh shit! Do you have IV injected water on the ready, Demigloom?
Yeah, you want some?
Sure. Let me inject that shit real quick. Nice water directly into my veins.
All right. But I know we're saving guns for last, but it is okay. We're saving guns for last. All right.
Saving guns for last. No guns.
Yeah. No guns. All
So
right,
I feel
what's
like
next?
we've
I know there's
kinda
a joke somewhere.
We've kind of left the realm of centrism. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys have any
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say.
on that.
I was just gonna say. Could we get into what you guys disagree about regarding centrism?
I don't think we disagree about anything. It's
Well,
just that
actually,
Mo mentioned that he had a.
well,
Go ahead,
I
sorry.
do want to ask you. You did sort of like low key, sort of accuse me of maybe some centrist takes. I would like you to
Oh, yes.
elaborate on
Yeah,
that
so-
because I would like to know what you think I was being a centrist on.
It's not that I think you're being a centrist on anything. It's more that you think that both Democrats and Republicans are stupid and how you're like a old school progressive. But we already kind of covered that. But if you'd like to elaborate, I'm all yours.
Okay. Well, all right. So, I'm too left wing for right wing people. I'm too right wing for left wing people, and both sides fucking hate my guts.
Fucking
and
9,000 IQ over here.
Well, no, like
Mr.
for real,
Worldwide.
like, well, because I'm not anti-gun. I'm not anti-gun enough for like left wingers. I'm
Fucking
not
the thinker
pro.
over here.
I'm not pro war enough for fucking right wingers.
Let me guess.
I hated
The left-
Bush.
The left
hate-
hates you because you have logic, and the right hates you because you have morals, right?
Okay, don't be lame about this. All right, I
I'm so
wasn't
sorry.
trying.
I'm just
not-
joking. I'm kidding.
No, I'm not trying to like bust anyone's chops with like facts and logic. I'm not Ben Shapiro. Like, but
I don't think Ben Shapiro uses much facts or logic. He just kind of talks fast, like Eminem.
yeah, he talks fast and he talks out of his ass, and because he thinks because talking fast and loudly equals correct in this country, like about 80-90% of this country.
That Ben Shapiro is a good example of why Eminem would make a great debater.
It's just a Ben Shapiro waiting to happen.
See,
Needing to happen. Yeah, maybe in
I'm-
his 60s.
Eminem's
But,
gonna become this huge political personality when he's an old man. He's gonna go on the Daily Wire, and it's gonna be over for us all.
He's just gonna have fucking like just still photos of the fucking border. And he's like, he's just like fucking posts out pictures. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy saying? But everyone's like, he's just so fucking right. I fucking love this guy. I mean, like, I never thought about it like that.
College student. Oh my god.
He does Rap God, but it's about how like other
Trans
genders
people are
fake.
dumb. Yeah. Well, I wear
There were
pink.
only two genders.
You know.
But okay, so what were you all right, okay, so basically I've been treated like a fucking outcast and a fucking freak all my fucking life just because
Aw.
I had no, like for
The
real.
tragic
Like
backstory
before,
of Moediggity.
no, before like being
Riley,
before
I told you to
this.
tell Mo that he shouldn't bring up his sad home life.
No,
that was Kathy.
Oh, right. That was Kathy. You're right.
No,
You're right.
like no, you don't understand. In the fucking 80s and 90s, like people like be kind of happy that you're living in an era that you're seeing, like for the most part, the kind of acceptance that you see. Because if you're non-preferred stock on top of all the bigotry and racism and all that stuff from the 80s and 90s and backwards and back on, because dudes like me, fucking with long hair, like punk rock, metal, fucking facial hair and all that, dude, we got sent to fucking re-education camps in the 80s and 90s. And fucking, they were trying to do
You heard
that.
it here first, folks. Teenagers with facial hair got sent to concentration camps.
No,
Led by yours truly, Moediggity.
No, I'm not kidding. It was like religious. It was sort of like faith-based initiatives and stuff. It was
It's fucking awful, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
this is all true. This isn't just his schizo ramblings.
Yeah.
No, I believe him.
This ain't real schizo ramblings. Like, this shit used to really happen. So, like, it was scary times to live back in those days. And I'm very thankful that we kind of got rid of most of that. But I think the problem didn't really so much write itself out as we just don't talk about it anymore. Because shit like that still does have, like, a quote-unquote alternative education. If you're like a kid, you just get in fights a bunch in fucking school. If they don't fucking like put you in juvie, they'll put you into like these
We'll
alternative.
put you in the school
things.
where me and Demi met.
Oh,
we went to an alternative school. It wasn't that kind of alternative school.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it's not
a behavioral
it's not
thing.
full of with anger issues. It's full of pedophiles. Not the teachers, the students. Sorry, it's too personal.
Okay, I will ask you to
There's a
elaborate
couple.
on that. But yeah, man, it got kind of scary for a little bit because all I was doing is just like, all right, I like Pantera, Metallica. Sorry that I don't like fucking Travis Tritt and fucking country music.
Travis
And
Scott.
I'm
You're
into
only allowed
fucking,
to listen to Amazing Grace over and over. It's the only
Yeah.
music you can listen to.
and I was a very devout fucking Baptist fucking Christian back in those days. And I'm still not, and I still didn't really understand a lot of that shit. Like it kind of one of my reasons why I lost my faith was just because like the whole of my religion just didn't really.
You're losing
like,
your
get with the
religion?
fucking- Oh no, you don't get to make that joke. That song sucks. REM fucking blows. I fucking hate REM. Like, you don't understand, man. I fucking grew up when REM was fucking new. And it was like, it's the end of the world. Please stop fucking playing this
The song is
goddamn
such a
song.
banger.
That song is so good.
Ugh.
I remember
Losing
watching
my religion.
Gravity Falls synced up to that song. Oh
Oh,
those were the
God.
good old days.
Moeddigity's
y'all's-
favorite song as a kid was Ooga Booga by Grug the Caveman. It was really...
Yeah, he's kind of underground, literally. He's in a cave.
I thought, you know what fucking song has stood the test of fucking time? Because I remember when it was brand new, and just yesterday when my niece and nephews were here, you know what fucking song they were listening to?
What's
They were
that?
listening to fucking Tub Thumper by fucking Chumbawamba.
Yo!
Like, dude, I'm actually surprised. Like, and Tub Thumper, everyone fucking, if you look at, say, a band like Smash Mouth with All Star, right? Kind of right behind that a little bit by like maybe third or fourth place. Fucking Tub Thumper by Chumbawamba's on there, not too far behind. Because people still listen to the shit out of that song. It's sort of like a hidden fucking mega hit that people don't really talk about too much, but then you'll have like your fucking kids or your niece and nephews, all of a sudden you're like, I'll get knocked down and I'll get up again. It's like, these guys are anarchists and they're talking about like drinking excessively at a party. I mean, not that it's a big deal to me and I want to take that away from them, but I think it's really funny. And one of the funnier things about Chumbawamba is that they are a bunch of fucking British anarchists. And I was like, all right, hey, man, they got my attention. I like him now.
I loved that song as a kid because I had Alvin and the Chipmunks for the PlayStation 2, and that was one of the songs on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, Chumbawamba is one of those rock songs that if your like mom was like overly, or one of your parents is like overly devout religiously, that's like one of those rock songs that are safe enough for like, the Christian crowd. And like later on, after I got to like 15, 16, I pushed Metallica and fucking Megadeth so hard on my mom. And my dad saw the cracks in that facade because he fucking hates listening to fucking Jesus music because he's kind of agnostic, I guess, a little. But I never really talked about faith with my dad too much. But he used to play fucking Black Sabbath and like fucking Van Halen on the fucking vinyl, when we were kids. And then my mom really like started clinging to her cross and banned all Black Sabbath and that fucking rock music that you listen to, Mike. Because my dad's name is Mike and I'm named after my dad. But yeah, it's that was fun. I forgot the point I was even making.
This is so sad.
Oh no, that happens. Yeah. Be glad that you live in the era that you live in now, because like while it was fun and sometimes to me life was a little better when we were just all considered freaks because I can hang out with all my friends.
It's just like Stranger Things, bro. Are you with the Hellfire Club?
I have no idea. I've never actually watched Stranger Things. It just doesn't look interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, check out the 80s and nostalgia. Blockbuster video. Stephen King's It references. Like I lived through the 80s, so I just don't know. I don't feel the nostalgia.
I can't believe that Stranger Things, like literally like an entire season was just the plot of Stephen King's It.
Is that a joke because Finn Wolfhard was in the It movie?
What? No, they just like did a whole season where like Mike moved to a different town, and then like the entire plot of It happened. It was around 2017.
What's up, Demigloom?
I don't know. It was just kind of a weird way to like merge them, you know, the 80s cinematic universe.
I feel like Squeebo can't even debate Moediggity anymore. They just want to console him for his tragic backstory.
Well, no, it's not too tragic, but like, you know, if you look at the past, and I guess like sometimes you can have like young eyes looking at the present and maybe the future, and you think it sucks, but like you always see like TV and media always going, it was so bad back then, but they don't ever really tell you why. They just throw a bunch of buzzwords at you, and they hope you don't question it or dive into it, so you can like find out like, okay, why was it really like this in blank times or whatever. You know, it's kind of cool to compare the past to the present. Because you see how far we've come along.
This is off topic. I can tell the fact that Demigloom's not muted right now means she's really chomping at the bit to move on this debate she's moderating.
Yes.
Real quick, I have to go on a side tangent for just a second. Did you see that Twitter trend just a couple months ago with like that one video from like a high school in 2002? And like the person tweeted it out
like
and was
life was so much better back
so much better, and then everybody was quote tweeting it like probably everybody in this video has said a homophobic slur.
Like they fucking care about it. Like
Yeah.
most of those people who fucking say that, they're like low key fascists that would love to see their fucking political enemies slaughtered.
Fascist? Wow,
they fucking
everyone
are.
I disagree with is a fascist.
No, like those fucking people really fucking are, man. Like you actually talk to them, it's like, okay, so in your ideal world, where do Republicans live? Like, well, they don't. And then they fucking like post pictures of walls and shit. Like these fucking people have any fucking balls to actually pull off a fucking.
The people who quote tweeted that video with everyone in this video just called me a homophobic slur.
Yeah.
I think those people are either really funny or just bitter and hateful people that need to get help.
Well, like a lot of them don't know how to tell jokes. So a lot of those quote retweets kind of came off as bitter and angry. Like, sorry that life existed prior to 2008. That's just how it is.
You gotta make it funnier. Like I did quote tweet it. I didn't throw my hat in the ring, but you gotta make it more of a joke out of it. Yeah, everybody in this video just turned to me and said, "I know what you are." That's a better one.
See, I don't like. I think if you truly saw that like video and are like every single person before 2008 is just a complete scumbag and should be eradicated through the multiverse. We need Doctor Strange to go back and eliminate everyone from before 2008. I think it's just really fucking stupid. Times change, people change, and also I don't think most people in that video in that high school were raging homophobes. Perhaps it was more socially acceptable to say that shit is gay. Perhaps it wasn't exactly as accepting as it is today. But I think overall, like as individuals, I don't think people back then were necessarily just awful, like cartoonishly evil, because fucking Obama didn't legalize gay marriage yet. I think it's just stupid. But I would like to encourage everyone to move forward, because we have been here for a while and we haven't talked a whole lot about the topics.
Demigloom will be evoking her right to leave at 10:30. So if you don't hurry up, you're not gonna have a moderator.
Oh, okay. I thought we did a good job on centrism, and then we agreed too much, and then we started like talking about shit we wanted to talk about. So, and that's mostly my bad too. So we'll go ahead and move on.
What was the next topic?
Immigration.
Immigration. All right. Squeebo, would you like to give your opening statement on immigration?
Yeah, okay, so the main reason I bring up most of the topics that I brought up are, I just kind of want to hear Mo's opinion and then respond to that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, Squeebo did go first.
Do you want Mo to go
time,
first?
So I think Mo should go first.
Yeah, Mo should go first.
Okay, Mo, are you ready for your opening statement on immigration?
All right. I'll desperately try to keep it 2 minutes, but this might be like a big one.
Where
So
did this
I'll
2-minute rule come from? I didn't say
Oh,
2
well,
minutes.
someone
You
said
definitely did say
Riely
2 minutes
say 2
at some
minutes?
point. That came out of your mouth,
Well-
Demigloom. It's not a real rule, I know. Demigloom said it once, and I thought it'd be funny to make fun of Moediggity a little bit.
Oh, all right. Okay,
Can everybody
I'll
look at recording chat for a second?
do what?
Just look at recording chat for a second.
All right, where is recording chats? Where is recording chat? It's not highlighted for me.
Mo's already seen this. You put it in
I
the
know.
group
I
chat.
just need him to see it right now.
Okay.
Where am I going? I don't see recording chat
Okay,
anywhere.
never mind.
Oh,
He's
here,
too
fucking
senile.
here it is. Here's fuck you. Oh yeah. You fucking like posting this. It's not really that funny. It's just not. So you can suck a fat one.
It really is funny.
For those at
Fuck
home who
you.
cannot see it, which is everyone because this is an audio podcast, it is a GIF of what I assume is a scene from Family
GIF,
Guy.
you
Where
fucking bastard.
it's a GIF.
No, it's a fucking GIF. You
Shut up! That's
stupid
not the debate
bastard.
we're having today. Anyway,
You're
so
fucking scum. You deserve
scene-
you belong on a fucking cross.
Fascist.
if you invent
Ugh.
something, you get to name it. Anyway,
It has
Uh,
G in it. It's GIF.
so anyway,
It's graphic interface image. Graphic. Gay.
the guy who made them said GIF.
Oh, no.
That is
Thank
the
you,
end all be
Squeebo.
all.
Thank you.
See,
Once somebody who
The
makes
right
the
and
thing
left
says
are
what
not
it's called,
too far apart.
that's it. Anyway, so this graphics interface.
Oh my God, Riely, hurry up!
depicts
You
the
fucking bastard.
four main dudes from Family Guy doing a podcast, and Cleveland talks for like 2 hours, and everybody falls asleep. And the caption is Moediggity.
I love how you depict me as a black guy, but I love Cleveland. He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite characters. So
Okay.
I feel good.
His
Boy.
name is Cleveland Brown, and he is proud
Did
to
you say-
be.
Did you say one of your favorite Family Guy characters, as if to imply that there are more than one favorable characters in the show?
Well, yeah, I mean, but Cleveland show, dude. I fucking love the Cleveland show, and I
Me
thought
too.
that was like a hit right out of the fucking stadium with that. It's just too bad it kind of got fucked the way it got. But I'm kind of
People were
glad.
just
The
hating.
bear was so funny, bro.
Oh
There
yeah,
were
I
old
like the
friends,
fucking
new
bear.
friends, and even a bear.
Yeah.
It was
Even
crazy.
a bear?
Yeah,
That's
dude,
so quirky. That's
Yeah.
like Waffles level quirky.
Dude, I did to the Cleveland show what I don't do with Family Guy. I always listen to the opening.
You
theme
come
song.
to it.
No, I don't come to it, and I will not expand further. into
No,
that,
that's
'cause-
American Dad because of Francine.
True. Nah, Lois is better than Francine. Change my
Not
mind.
true. Not true.
So
Moediggity, your
Anywho,
opening statement on immigration.
Immigration, the lighthearted topic, the talk of the century, immigration.
Let's get political. Immigration.
Okay, let's get political with immigration. This is one of those things where I'm not really too much of a libertarian on, because a lot of libertarians love to do the "I want open borders for all." Like, no, bitch. They're kind of like a stupid child, in that you have to sit libertarians down and smack them upside the head with a fucking rolled up newspaper and go, no, we can't
Bad
do open
libertarian.
borders.
Bad.
Bad libertarian. That's a bad libertarian. We can't do open borders. No, fucking catastrophe. I'm sorry, but I like the fact that we do need borders, because borders do help for a reason. The United States, as multicultural of a society that it is, can only sustain so much immigration into the country, because there are finite resources. There is a finite living space for everyone here, because if you look at the homeless population, you see that there's a lot of people that just don't have a fucking home. We're financially becoming more and more destitute and more deeper in debt every single day, especially from the last three and a half years alone. We had disastrous Trump start to the COVID lockdown sort of a debacle, and then the Biden administration. And what happened was, the worst thing is, it started terribly under one administration, and got just as bad, maybe if not worse, under another administration because we had a fucking proverbial changing of the guard, and all we do is just run the fucking printer fucking 24/7 in overdrive times 1,000, and now we're quite literally paying for that. So until we can figure out a solution to this, I don't think that the caravans of tens of thousands of people should be just, hand waved in and celebrated and say, hey, you guys should just all come in here. It's not a big deal. Sure, BlackRock and all these fucking little shadow corporations, they're just buying up all the fucking homes, and they're starting to running out of homes, and they're starting to buy up fucking trailer parks. Like, this shit's fucking scary. If you look into how a lot of these corporations, how banks are losing tons of money by financing homes now, and that's a sign of a banking collapse. I know that's not like the topic at hand, but that's a story for another day. I don't believe in unlimited immigration, and we should just let everyone in all the fucking time. I think one of my solutions to the immigration problem is this: close the border for about 10 years, right? Get rid of a lot of the quote-unquote illegal immigrants that do nothing but commit crime. Like, maybe if you bust them twice. No, for real. No, we should not be forgiving of fucking home invasions and burglaries and beating up people at ATMs. I'm talking about like fucking legitimate violent crime. Not getting
which I'm
drunk.
sure are good people.
Yeah, no, God, no. Yeah, Trump fucked up the immigration fucking topic for a lot of people. Like, no, like you can't talk about immigration or illegal immigration because of fucking Trump. And
bullshit.
And
bullshit. People
Biden
love talking about
fucking
immigration, especially because of Trump.
Well, I think the wrong type of people fucking do that, because I'm not heartless about this, but I think we should close the border for 10 years, get rid of a lot of these illegals who are just doing nothing but like causing like legitimate fucking trouble,
Okay.
like say
Mo.
robbing people,
Okay.
people, actual like legit fucking criminals, right? We should get rid of rid of them, fucking kick them over this other side of the fucking border. Nationalize all the ones that are here that are actually putting forth like a good faith effort to become citizens of the United States, just sort of like a reverse mass baptism back in the Crusades, in the name of the Father and Son, the Holy Fawns, you are now Americans, huzzah. And then you forgive all Latin American debt, but it comes with a huge fucking addendum. From now on, each one of these countries that we forgive the debt for takes the burden of the illegal immigration now, because I think a lot of people who are coming from like sort of that area, they would fit a lot better in to areas that they're kind of familiar, or at least they're not too far from what
they're trying to get
from.
Away from those places, though.
Well, we need to fucking they need to actually rise up and fucking do something about that, because
oh my god, there are generations and generations of like trying to do that, trying to rise up, but the truth is that like pulling yourself up by the bootstraps is complete bullshit.
I ain't talking about pulling not by the bootstraps, more like a fucking strap of a fucking weapon.
I think I'm playing understudy here. I don't know if Demigloom is still in the room.
You're advocating for an insurrection.
Oh yeah, dude, yes, actually, I'm all for fucking revolts and uprisings and purging of the fucking cartels.
Listen,
I'm talking.
You two.
What? Oh, this is a debate. This is what you want, right?
Yeah, but you were doing your opening statement. Squeebo hasn't given theirs yet. So finish your opening statement, and then Squeebo can do an opening statement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's basically my solution, my advocating for how to solve the immigration problem, and then we just slowly open up the border, but like with much stricter sort of European-centric sort of style. Immigration, or maybe even Canadian.
Wait.
Maybe even Canadian,
realize what you
because
just
they're
said.
tougher than we are. Hey,
Please.
European immigration's a lot tougher than ours, even though they're having a lot of immigration problems themselves, but that's sort of a European-centric sort of problem. So it's different from North American style immigration issues that we face.
Wait, okay. By
But
European
that's my end.
immigration, do you mean sending Mexican immigrants to Europe, or sending European immigrants
I mean
to America?
I mean being tougher with our immigration like policies, not just like always letting people in.
European immigration policies.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Okay.
They used to do a really good job of not letting single men in who just show up without families and all that, and then they'll do a background check at the fucking border patrol spot right there, and they'll find, well, he got in trouble for this, and this, and he seems to be loosely associated with this guy, and he's related to this guy who's on our top like 50 fucking most wanted terrorists fucking list. So we should pay attention to more of that, and we should enforce that a lot better. But we have a lot of bad faith actors and sort of like NGO sort of style organizations that go around and they really they deliberately undermine our immigration policy, and it kind of sucks, and it makes people lose faith. And then you have like craziness of like, you know, these gun toters showing up. I'm going to protect the border. I'm going to shoot me Mexican. And then you get shit like we had like a couple of years ago with someone who took a really bad photo of that guy on the horse saying he was whipping Mexican people crossing the fucking river. And that didn't happen at all. You know, that was bullshit. And so, yeah, I think for a while we need to close the borders, figure everything out, actually like enforce our existing immigration laws that we have on the books. And maybe after about 10 years, hopefully, because it's a long, long fucking term plan. And, you know, there's no overnight solution to it. I mean, I'm not going to invoke the fucking 14th, like fucking Fetterman. I think that's his name, the new guy that got elected last year. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he called on Biden to invoke the 14th and nationalize or naturalize, whatever the fucking term it is. You know, just mass legalize everyone, make them American citizen. I think maybe that's a bad idea. I mean, not without like a few like, okay, there's a few people who need to go first.
Mo,
you've been talking a while.
Wind down.
Yeah.
This is an opening statement.
Well, I keep trying to open it up.
The GIF?
Like no one's.
All right,
you
should not be offended by that GIF. That GIF holds to be pretty true. Let's be honest.
All right, I'll shut up now. I'm trying to, like, you know, get it out there.
The Squeebo opening statement. I know you guys want to argue about this. I've heard. I know you guys are chomping at the bit. Squeebo, give your opening statement. Moediggity, don't interrupt, and then you shall be free to rip each other's throats out. Okay, Squeebo.
Wonderful. Go. All right, Mo. I think you had an amazing idea of, you know, like keeping the borders closed for 10 years. I think that it's actually like a pretty easy solution to like just make everybody sit in the sun for 10 straight years, without food, shelter, anything. Any
That's
assurance?
Not what I meant at all.
Any assurance that they're gonna get into the country? You know, because like they don't have homes to go to, but they need homes to go to. You know, like they.
Well, you have fine. You have tons of fucking other countries that you can pick and choose from.
Mo.
All right, sorry.
They don't. They don't though.
Yes, they do.
No.
All right.
Okay. How about we pay? How about we pay for all of their plane tickets? How do you feel about that?
Don't ask him how he feels. This is your opening statement.
Okay, you're right. Okay. So yeah.
Tell us what you think fundamentally about immigration, and then respond to Mo.
Fundamentally, I think it's hard to say. I wasn't aware that you would be like this on immigration. I thought you would have the more, as you said, libertarian approach. But I guess I respect that you have your individual opinion. However,
it's not that hot of a take.
It's not that hot of a take in certain circles.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay.
Moediggity,
All right.
shut up. Squeebo, continue.
Let's say, okay, you get to snap your fingers, and all of the illegal immigrants get snapped back to Mexico, and they're gone. Okay. Congratulations.
I don't want that.
Congratulations,
Okay,
you just stopped like so much production. Pretty much all like fucking every CVS, closed it down. Like
Wrong.
CVS stands exclusively on the backs of illegal immigrants. CVS is over without their contribution.
Okay.
Fuck CVS, go to Walgreens. I'm starting to side with Mo.
Agreed. But yeah, like so-called illegal immigrants make up so much of this country's workforce. It's insane, and they're incredibly exploited, like more exploited than the middle class, like the average American. Like there's so many farms that have illegal immigrants working for literal pennies, but they can't say anything about it, because if they do, they're gonna get kicked out, they're gonna get taken by ICE, they're gonna get taken away from their kids. And it's just gonna be an overall awful situation. And to close the border for 10 years, also, it's just like...
Squeebo, you're cutting out a little bit, buddy. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't really prepare a statement, because here, let me look up the crime statistics, because like if it's true...
Welcome to this political debate where Squeebo did not prepare an opening statement.
Yeah, usually I get yelled at for like not preparing stuff, so it feels good that I'm not on this side, that side of the accusation.
So is that it then? Are you done floundering through your opening statement? Is it debate
No,
time?
shut up.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay.
This episode of The Issue Crew brought to you by Subway Tuna Subs. Remember that bit from 2 years ago, everybody?
Oh my god. It's almost like nobody listens to the Brony Initiation podcast ever.
Hey, don't feel too bad. Nobody listens to the
podcasts.
Issue Crew either.
I just realized how ironic it was that I said that on the Issue Crew. As if this is our prestigious masterpiece, and the Brony Initiation podcast was just our forgotten legacy that we've been trying to bury.
Demigloom, I'm tired of your shit, okay?
Okay, yeah. So I
have to
found
moderate Demigloom. That's my.
I
true
found
purpose.
an image on the web saying that you're actually wrong. Per
Wow.
100,000 citizens,
Crazy.
or per 100,000 people, U.S.-born citizens do like almost 3 times as much crime as undocumented
Yeah,
immigrants.
because it's in our fucking country. Of course we make up the fucking majority of the crime.
No, like per 100,000 people.
Yeah, because it's our country. We live here. Of course we're the ones that do the majority of the crime.
Yes, Mo, but
Okay,
it's
you agree.
100,000 U.S. citizens versus 100,000 illegal immigrants. It is the same number.
That
to be
means
compared.
Yeah, like per capita, we are doing more crime than undocumented immigrants.
Okay, so I get that, but that's not the big own you think it is. Getting
No,
rid of
it's
any
not
fucking
supposed
type
to
of
be. It's not supposed to be an own. It's just like a straight up lie that you made that I'm trying to point out.
Not. How is it a fucking? How is it a lie? Please explain.
Okay,
to
we're
me how
going into
this
the
is a
debate
lie.
here. Okay, it's a
Okay,
lie.
debate time.
It's a lie because you use that as like a main point of why we should not let immigrants into America.
I
It's
never
because
said that. You keep
did.
putting words in my mouth. You need to become more good faith about that, because you said a lot of shit.
You need to become more better.
I'm sorry. Oh, fuck off! All right, I haven't had a drink of water or anything in like the last hour.
Go get some damn water,
Yeah.
Mo.
Well, no, I'm fucking getting called out for some bullshit I didn't say. I gotta fucking stay
Can
here.
anyone confirm? I remember like can anyone confirm that he said like I think it was like specifically like beating up guys at ATMs.
Here's the thing.
Demigloom is out of the room for Moedickity's entire opening statement, so
it's
she
fucking
can't.
street.
No,
It's
no, it
fucking
wasn't.
street crime.
Wait, hold on, Riley. Do you think that when I'm muted, that means I'm gone?
No, but there was like moderating that needed to happen that I had to take over for. So
Yeah.
I assumed you weren't in
I
the
was
room.
I was about to jump in. I was gonna, but whatever.
This
Whatever.
is like the third time you've talked. Okay.
Moediggity. So when asked for Moedickity's opinion on immigration, he immediately brought up, and this is not me picking sides, but this did happen. Moediggity did like bring up like a bunch of criminals and talked about how we need to get criminals out of here. And I guess the assumption that was made was that you believed that crime was a problem, like illegal immigration and crime had a correlation
Yeah,
that
they're
was
buying
problematic.
all of the prime. I can't get it for my 7-year-old.
There is a freaking problem, and we do need to address that. We don't need to ignore that.
Okay,
No,
so there's a
we should
problem.
always try-
Squeebo, shut up.
Okay, sorry.
Describe the problem. You said there is a problem. Can you just clarify what the problem is that you're talking about?
Well, for example, so when we think of positive immigration, we think of families coming through, right? But then we don't really talk about how there's all these specifically single men who just show up by themselves with like no rhyme or reason. They're not here to get jobs. They end up fucking like causing some bullshit. Like, we need to start really looking at the fact that a lot of people don't really come here in good faith. And a lot of people do come over here and because they bring some of their bad habits from where where they're coming from.
Statistic on that. Like,
I don't have that. You asked me
what
for my
suggests that single men are coming over the border specifically to do crime in America?
Why would people with families want to commit crimes? That's like throwing away their future.
Okay, Moediggity.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I have a question to pose to Moediggity. So are you saying that a single man from Mexico or from somewhere that we are boarded from who comes into the country illegally is inherently an issue that needs to be solved?
Well, I'm saying that when it comes to like the individual, it's not really that big a deal.
Okay.
If it were just like a few thousand, like every like other month, it wouldn't be like a huge deal. But if you look at a lot of these fucking caravans of people who are coming through,
okay, can you give me statistics of those caravans? Can you show?
No, of course I can't. Why are you asking for statistics when we're just having a bullshit debate?
We're not having a bullshit debate. I showed you a statistic disproving one of your points, and now I'm asking you for statistics that back up your point.
I'm just here
that
with an opinion.
Single men. Well, an opinion is not enough to make legislation that
I'm not asking for
decides that
legislation.
people
I
in
am
America
saying that there
live
is a
in America.
problem. And if you look it up, if you're interested, maybe you'd actually see that there kind of is a sort of a problem.
Look it up.
We're more interested than you, clearly.
I genuinely want to see the statistics.
Demigloom, you're not allowed to be mean to
Dude, it's going to like fucking take forever if I'm looking up fucking stats for like
my job.
A topic that was
Mo, can you look this up, please?
No, I don't want to.
Mo,
okay, hold on.
Do it your fucking self. Can you just
hold on. Everyone, I'm the moderator.
No, I will not.
Wait. I want to talk. I want to talk.
Shut up for 1 second, and you will be able to. Okay.
You did not have that statistic ready. All right, for the record.
Well, I didn't think that we're actually having a.
Okay, I didn't think I was going to have to resort to server mutes.
Yeah, okay, we've server muted both of the combatants. Demi, please say your piece here.
We're going to hand out a talking piece, okay? I'm going to let, just to avoid any perception of bias, I'm going to give Moediggity an opportunity to speak first. Moediggity, what are we yelling about? What's going on? How's it going?
Well, there's like a million things I'm being yelled. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know that we were talking about illegal immigration tonight. I thought we were talking about like gun shit, centrism, and gun violence. And I think we're going to like maybe talk about COVID, but I wasn't prepared for like immigration.
Oh, COVID is not on the board.
Yeah, COVID's no longer on the board. I got rid of those tabs. So I don't have that, but it is a problem if even if you look at like bullshit news like CBS, they fucking talk about this shit a bunch.
But Moediggity, why do you have an aversion to Googling it right now for the purpose of the debate?
Because that's fucking lame and it fucking takes forever.
We're not expecting anyone to do research right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was before the debate, if I were prepared for like this one, I would like totally have that. But it's like, it's 9 o'clock right now, and if we like start googling shit and start like breaking down
immigration was a last minute topic, to be fair. So I think it's reasonable that Moediggity does not have statistics on the ready, and maybe it is an unrealistic ask for him to pull them live.
Okay.
I mean, with immigration, it takes like a million fucking sort of things to come up with the accurate fucking statement. And then there's like the chance that the person in question who I'm pitching this to will just fucking slap it away and just dismiss it.
Okay. I'm going to let Squeebo talk now. Thank you, Moediggity. Squeebo, I'm sorry for cutting you off when you were...
It's all good. It's your job. It's your job.
A wild animal has been released. Here we go.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, so Mo, I just think it's hypocritical to say, well, I wasn't prepared for this. Like, why do you expect me to Google this? And that's fair. Like, I acknowledge this was a last minute thing, but like, I didn't prepare for any of the shit. But I looked up a statistic and I showed it to you. I'm using a statistic that I can like back up.
I think
and it wasn't that hard to, in all fairness.
I think I think Moediggity. I don't think Moediggity responded to your statistic, like accurately, like knowing what
No, he. Okay, what he said was, you're like putting words in my mouth. I think that's bullshit. Okay. I showed him a statistic.
All right, I'm gonna unmute both of you. I want you guys to be quiet for just a second. I'm gonna summarize what the misunderstanding here might be. Okay. And I want you guys to let me know if I'm mischaracterizing either one of you, if you feel mischaracterized. Okay, so Moediggity, is this true or is this not true? That you made the statement that people crossing the border and committing crimes is an issue that ought to be addressed by restricting who can and cannot come across our borders.
Yes, but there is also a lot of like sort of like gray area with we should restrict some.
Don't weasel your way out of this.
That's
just all. Yes or no.
That is, and
okay.
But at the beginning of this,
let me rephrase it.
Let me be clear.
Yeah, well, you tried to do the appeal to emotion fallacy on me earlier when I said
no, guys. Let me rephrase the question, okay? Moediggity, is crime part of your justification for strengthening our border security?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, Squeebo, is your argument that proportionately undocumented immigrants commit less crime? Your argument was that proportionately they commit less crime, so it's silly to hyperfixate on.
And I wasn't even
I wasn't
even sure of that at first, but I looked it up, and like my claim got verified pretty quickly.
I mean, the violent crime and property crime still are kind of a problem, though.
Okay. Moediggity. Okay, Squeebo.
Which are really that's Squeebo, really just the two I care about.
Explain this statistic. Read it out loud.
All right.
And I'll give Moediggity an opportunity to respond.
So, per capita, crime per 100,000 persons. There are 3 lines for each different type of crime. There's a blue line for US-born citizens, there's a red line for legal immigrants, and then there are green lines for undocumented immigrants. In almost all of these statistics, not in except for traffic violations, blue, the US-born citizens per 100,000 persons are generally larger. There's more crime done by US-born citizens than undocumented immigrants per 100,000 persons. The only place where this does not apply is traffic violations where U.S.-born citizens are still more than undocumented immigrants, but legal immigrants are more than both of them.
That's the most shocking stat on this board to me. I didn't know that legal immigrants committed more traffic crime than U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I only care about two crime stats in this one, right? I mean, you can't do fuck all about traffic violations because that runs from everything from jaywalking to drinking and driving, and people everywhere just have a drunk driving problem. So I don't hold that against anyone. Drug violations. I mean, I'm very anti-drug war, so
Moediggity commits drug violations regularly. So.
yeah. I'm not going to be a hypocrite on this.
337 per 100,000.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me really. Like, there's a couple of drug violation crimes that I have a problem with, but really, I'm not.
There are a few drug-related crimes that I have. Period.
Well, no, once you're like
I've committed.
Well, that I have committed, yes, but I'm talking about like the major ones.
Sure.
Like badly made drugs, for instance. I as a druggie, badly made drugs, like shit tainted with like say fentanyl, because that's the scary boogeyman.
Oh no,
that's the scary. Well, that's the scary boogeyman. Fucking thing of the day, right? We tainted drugs is kind of a big deal, and we should like be a little bit more open to talking about that. But that's not
drugs.
But that's a debate for another day. No, I actually care more about the property crime and violent crime.
You'll die, or you'll go to hell before you die, or whatever the fuck it was.
That's what Mario said.
Yeah,
that's what Alvaro said is Mario.
Yeah. That was a fucking hilarious fucking thing.
Sorry, continue. Okay. I apologize.
All right, but I would like to focus on the violent crime and the property crime, which I think are two statistics I think we can do really well in, at least trying to stop that. Maybe one day we can find like a better way to tackle drug violations and what we what we define as drug violations, because that could also be anything from having a joint to trying to smuggle like 5 tons of fucking coke across the border, right?
So,
well, Moediggity,
I feel like you're trying to imply something. Is that the statistic does not account for the severity of the crimes, which I agree.
Well, okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Something to take in, but
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not very hard on like people who do drugs, basically. So I don't want to be a hypocrite because I've done drugs like since I was 20.
Anything, Moediggity should be more sympathetic in this regard, right?
I want
like
say
drug violations and traffic violations, which I don't deem as a threat to me.
Okay, either way, Moediggity. I think you're addressing something that is not the point that Squeebo is trying to make with these statistics.
Well, I am trying to get to violence.
The point that Squeebo is making with these statistics, as I understand it, Squeebo, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is in the violent and property crime categories that you care so much about, per capita, undocumented immigrants are the lowest of that category.
Okay, so
that means that your point is invalid.
So the point isn't invalid because we have statistics for violent crimes and property crimes, and we can still do something about that. So you're just showing me how much
something about the Americans committing those crimes too.
Why are we talking about American crimes when I'm talking about specifically undocumented immigrant crimes? I think this is important, and just dismissing that because my U.S. born citizen fucking crime stats. I really think that's disingenuous.
Don't bring out the Muzz. Don't bring out the Muzz. That's when you know that you've lost.
Muzz? I don't understand this.
When he's upset about something, he goes, Russia, Ukraine,
because it is fucking Russia and Ukraine. Oh, fuck. Oh, all right. That's other shit.
Okay, so I would agree with you, Squeebo, but also say my free speech a lot.
Yeah, but you are also going my U.S. born citizenry a lot. That's supposed to stop me in the violent
completely missing the point.
No, you are. Like, how come it doesn't apply to them, but it applies to me?
Mo, it does. It applies to everyone. But what I'm trying. Okay, are you listening?
No, I'm listening. I apologize.
We should not when you're making an argument against immigration, you should not hold a double standard. Because I know you think that I'm trying to make undocumented immigrants exempt, but it feels like you're trying to make US-born citizens exempt.
I'm not. We have a whole judicial system to fucking oppress and fucking become a fucking tyrant, allowed fucking judges and fucking sheriffs and local cops to become de facto fucking tyrants in our fucking area. We're already dealing with us, you know?
I agree.
We have an excess of what was it, 1 billion fucking police force in police in this fucking world?
To the point made challenge impossible.
Mo, this is not the current point.
I'm just saying
Mo,
that
I completely agree. Right. The police right now are basically a military force. I agree with you on that. Thank you, Demi. The police should be defunded. No,
that was Mo on his own accord. He's not
okay. Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
I didn't want to vape over you.
Oh, I got you. So, okay. I agree that there's, definitely, more arrests made than there we both agree. Cops are fucking awful. Great.
All right.
The question that I would like
that is completely irrelevant, all right? If anything, the police are more likely to suspect undocumented immigrants. They're more likely to be prejudiced towards non white and non-citizens. Right?
All right, and that's bad.
That is bad. That's bad.
That's bad. I don't disagree with you here.
But that's completely irrelevant to the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that you should not be able to make an argument against immigration when one of your main points on why we shouldn't have immigration is completely invalid.
Okay, I would like to pose. Once again, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say I was anti-immigration. All I said was
you said that you want to close the border for 10 years
fucking years so we can figure some shit out.
All right.
That's 100% anti-immigration.
No, that's not fucking anti-immigration.
All right, I have him muted.
Okay, I speak Moediggity. I have a question for Moediggity that I think will steer us in the right direction. Mo, you're sort of muted right now, so don't start answering early. She'll let you when I'm done asking. Do you think that it is true, based on these statistics that Squeebo has found and posted here, that prove that undocumented immigrants have the least amount of crime per capita when compared to legal immigrants and U.S. citizens? Do you think that the crime that does exist is worth closing the border for 10 years, which will cause unspeakable suffering to sort these problems out when these problems don't even exist to the extent that you seem to be trying to convey, where the stats prove that these crimes are the least committed by this group of people? Do you think it's worth 10 years of denial of entry into the country, and why? That is the question I would like to pose to you, Moediggity.
Okay, first off, that fucking that totally sad picture. Oh god, this pisses me off so fucking much. I fucking hate having immigration debates because of this shit. Because it's basically boils down to here's 15 pictures of why you should say fuck having borders and laws and shit. Blue. I mean, it's first off, we need to fucking hold other countries accountable. To not doing a fucking thing. We can really use Mexico's help in this. We can really use fucking Central America's help. How about Nicaragua or any other South America or a Central American country? We can really use their fucking help. I just don't think that America should be the one that constantly, not all the time, just constantly has to put up the proverbial quote unquote room and board and all the bullshit when everyone else could lend a fucking hand. That's all I was saying for that. First off, secondly, the unfathomable sadness and tears and oh no, I'm being denied, my right to become an American. First off, you're not entitled to be a citizen of insert country here. You're fucking not. Okay, that's first and foremost. secondly, we do have to at least, if we don't at least put a hard stop on the southern border immigration to deal with the problems that we're having to deal with southern border immigration.
What problems,
We're not
though?
going to be.
What are the problems?
Well, housing, jobs, not having a fucking whole political class that seems to treat Mexican people like they're fucking third world fucking slave labor. I mean, look at the fucking comment that Squeebo had earlier. What will happen if no one's doing all the terrible jobs that Americans, quote, don't want? Which has been like fucking not true for like a little while now. That used to be true
Squeebo
10 years
said
ago.
that.
No, Squeebo did fucking say that.
All right, I've unleashed the beast.
So yeah, all I'm saying, there are problems that we do need to look at, like how do we get jobs for undocumented legal immigrants and U.S. born citizens? We don't really even try to do that. We just go, oh, hey, that one will work instead of for $14. He'll work for $5. Send most of it back home where the dollar speaks loudly. And it's a smart idea. I don't knock that. That's not the issue. The issue is with the current system that we have now, we just don't have enough to go around. And I want to figure out how to have enough to go around. That's all. That's all I've ever really wanted. And honestly, it's not a hot take to boot people out on the other side of the fucking border if they get caught stealing or fucking carjacking or committing violent crimes or property crimes. Not a hot take. I'm sorry, but I just don't think it is.
I don't think that's the hot take. The hot take is that we should close the border for 10 whole calendar years to try to combat these issues. That is the main,
nobody's like defending these property crimes.
Refuting.
Well, what are we?
If they get caught committing a crime, throw them out. I'm not refuting that.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That. But closing the borders for 10 years is a whole separate thing.
Well, we gotta.
Okay. Before we get too off topic, I want to say one thing, Mo. The reason that we have so little jobs and the reason that we are so understaffed, one, it is not the Mexicans' fault. It is not immigrants' fault.
I never said that, man. You keep fucking like putting words and like framing it in a way where I'm like, fuck the Mexicans, they took her job.
So just say immigrants. Say immigrants instead of Mexicans.
Okay, yeah, got you.
Shut the fuck up, Demigloom.
No, it's a good idea. I don't want to get canceled.
No, because when you say Mexicans, you're implying
that only Mexicans are immigrants.
Well, not even that. You're implying that Moediggity. I think Moediggity took offense to that because you're making it a race thing when Moediggity earnestly is literally talking about immigration and concepts and has nothing to do with ethnicity.
That makes sense.
Well, he did say Southern immigration specifically.
Well, no, it is Southern immigration because that's primarily the problem right now. We do have some Northern border immigration problems.
Like Justin Bieber.
That's damn Canadian.
Yeah, we need. No, I'm fucking like close the Canadian border, to close the Northern border to Canadians.
Random Candor not allowed. Get him out of here.
No, that's like...
All right, let me finish my point, okay?
Sorry. And I also live on the southern border, so I know more than I do about the northern one.
Okay. So, the reason that we have so few jobs today, and I'm not saying this is anything you said, but I'm just making a general statement here, all right? The reason, because this is a common misconception, not saying it's one that you subscribe to, Mo. It's a common misconception. The reason that we have so little jobs today is because of immigrants. The reason we have so little jobs today is one, the pandemic. People woke up, they got woke, and they realized, wow, like working really does suck. Like our bosses just straight up do not care about us. Like making fucking mascots like essential workers. The core issue is working conditions in America is the reason for so little so little jobs, you know?
Well, I'd argue it would be outsourcing to like China and other countries that only pay their people like 5 to 10 cents on the American dollar.
Wait, what? Okay.
Well, like the proverbial Chinese
I know what you're talking about.
Sweatshop, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
That's a good point, but it's also kind of unrelated.
Well, how does remote working factor into illegal immigration? Wouldn't that like allow anyone to work anywhere?
Saying that's a common misconception that letting immigrants over the border is going to create less jobs.
I didn't say it was going to create less jobs. I'm saying that the jobs that are here, there's just not enough to go around. That's what I was saying.
That's the same thing.
I don't think that's the same thing at all. It's different when you're a worker.
Wait, so what Mo is saying is that it's not that wait, no, it actually never mind. Look,
if you're working at Walmart and there's 10 job openings and 50 people show up, and like half of them say are like American citizens, half of them are undocumented immigrants, just for the sake of the argument, right? And most of the jobs go to the undocumented immigrants. Do you think that's really fair to the people who are there
so
first?
This is a they trick or gerbs argument.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that there isn't enough to go around, and the corporations really do favor.
So when there isn't enough around, and the immigrants take your jobs, that's the immigrants took my job.
Your jobs, and that is your problem with
Jesus fucking Christ! You guys are looking at this with such like a small.
His problem isn't that they're taking your jobs. His problem is that they are getting the jobs that you want to get.
Yes.
This is such a real tiny-minded way to look at this problem that I'm talking about. This is why this fucking conversation will never really go anywhere, because you're looking at it. It's a South Park meme. I can dismiss it. I don't have to. This is why we have politicians that never fucking actually take this shit fucking seriously. And how it's just a fucking joke. How people who fucking come to this country looking for the American dream can't fucking do it because there's a fucking queue of fucking people just like them who are looking for the same job that he's standing in the fucking line for, and the fucking people, the American-born citizens, are standing in the same fucking line too.
I have a question. It seemed that at first we were talking about there not being enough people working, like people aren't working enough, and then all of a sudden it became there's not enough work for people to do.
I brought
that up from the beginning.
There's a lack of job. When there's a lack of jobs, that doesn't there isn't really. It's just that people don't want to get jobs.
That's real not problem, true at all. That's a Republican talking point.
But the problem is understaffing because people don't want to work. It's a documented fact.
That's
that
not
people
true
don't want to work.
That's a Republican myth. That people just don't want to hashtag not get jobs, and that's just not true.
That's something that they blew out of proportion, sure, but it is a reality. Okay, let me find a source, since I know it's going to be very difficult finding a source for this.
Yeah, but a lot of those sources for that are from CEO approved fucking places. Like fucking Elon Musk is fucking terrible about he calls remote workers the laptop class. The general disdain for remote workers in this country from CEOs and especially from a lot of people in the press is very noticeable. Especially when every other month there's a bunch of it's time remote workers get back into the office. Remote working does kind of help the job the job market a little bit too. If we embrace remote working, I think about 10 years ago, I think a lot of our immigration problems we wouldn't have so much of. And I think that's a really good way to get jobs in the hands of everybody. Because I think in that case, we do have enough jobs to go around. But the fact of the matter is, everyone's still stuck in the old school mindset where they're still well, hey, even though I'm fucking dumber than a bag of fucking toast, I can at least fucking hammer a nail in a board. And, and that's the reality for a lot of people. There's only so many blue collar manual labor jobs to go around for everyone who's quote unskilled. And unstilled's kind of a dirty term too. If you think about it, has a shitty history behind that term, but it's sort of the unfortunate reality for
lack of a better
people.
word.
Yeah,
unskilled. I would just like to make sure I understand Moediggity's point. And this is not me trying to gotcha you, Mo. I'm legitimately asking.
I'm already pre-pissed off because I know it's a gotcha.
So I'm not trying to gotcha you. I just want to clarify this.
Okay, just try not to use any terminology that you hear from media from either like Fox or CNN, okay?
Okay, if Fox News has ever used the word "the," you are not allowed to use the word "the." If Fox News has ever uttered "the."
If Tucker Carlson has said it, I can't say it. Got it. So, all right.
That's not the worst rule.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good rule. The question is, so you are saying that there is a shortage in jobs and that there are too many people for those jobs to be spread around. Now, my question for you is, are you saying that the solution to this is that U.S. citizens should get some sort of priority and that illegal immigrants should be thrown out of this system for their benefit? That is what I want to know.
I don't think they should get thrown out. I think that Americans should get priority for like specifically jobs because, well, this is our home. We're the ones that have to run it. And the corporations don't want to hire us because we know the fucking score when it comes to them. Like, we expect X blank and all that. The undocumented or legal immigrant, however, like basically the two types of immigrant, unfortunately, they don't really know the score too well in America, and they get exploited and fucked with. Like hey, we expect to work for 14. Well, fuck you. I'll hire this guy over here who will do it for $5 an hour, send money over to his family in the other country, yada, yada, like I said earlier. And that's a shitty life because they're only living off of like X amount of like ones of fives, maybe tens of dollars, like a week. Like, they're getting tricked into living into poverty, and poverty breeds resentment. Resentment turns into anger, and that turns into fucking crime. Because when you feel fucking hopeless and nothing, there doesn't seem to be a light at the end of the tunnel, why not take a fucking baseball bat to your perceived enemy? That just fucking that just hurts everything right there. So yeah, we do have to have some sort of program that gives like, well, we should like let it be known when immigrants cross the border. Maybe like give them a 101 sort of like, hey, don't let Walmart fuck with you, or Costco, or whatever big business, because that's that has been busted over and over again, exploiting immigrant labor. We should have more of that and more information to those people. That way there's less of a chance of them being victimized in that.
Fair enough.
Squeebo, you want to come get this man?
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna read all that. I'm so sorry.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Well, Squeebo loses this debate.
Can I tag in?
Who did that? Who did that?
Squeebo. That was Squeebo.
Banned. Kicked off the podcast.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, can I tag in?
Soundboards are strictly banned on this podcast, Squeebo.
I'm done moderating. I'm done sitting there from behind the shadows. Just taking it.
You gonna throw in your towel? Do you want to tap out? I'll moderate for a little bit.
No. The Demigloom isn't just allowed to gang up on Moediggity and become a part of this argument. Me and Demigloom are going to switch roles now. I will moderate. You two, please continue your debate, and Demigloom, do not go too crazy on Mo with Squeebo.
Actually, I'm just going to ask questions. How about that?
Okay.
So, Moediggity, you made it very clear that you believe that illegal or undocumented immigrants are exploited by employers and run into poverty, and that poverty breeds crime statistically, right?
Yeah, because of general hopelessness.
Why do you think these immigrants are being exploited? You said it was because they don't know how it works in America.
Well, yeah, it's an overly simplistic sort of term to use, but essentially, yeah, because what would one dude in one side of the world know what's happening in like Istanbul?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying that like an undocumented immigrant who's kind of new to this country, hasn't grown up here, might be maybe John is going to make $14 at Walmart, and at the same Walmart, Juan is going to be making. Sorry.
Oh my God!
He's going to be making $5.
Oh my god.
You know, this and I don't believe that these immigrants are being taken advantage of because of their because of some kind of ignorance. I believe they're being taken advantage of because because employers can get away with paying undocumented immigrants less money because they know that it's all undocumented. It's all they can fucking call ICE and get them immediately thrown out of the country. Therefore, they have to take a lot of shit as undocumented immigrants. And if they weren't undocumented, if we were to provide them with an easy and fair path to citizenship and equal rights as Americans, this difference between John and Juan wouldn't be the same. I still think prejudice and exploitation will always be there for, many demographics of people. My demographic included, a lot of other demographics in the country. It's just kind of how being a minority works in many ways socially. But as far as like literally the pay gap, the same labor being valued differently, a path to citizenship would effectively solve that problem in this entire like chain of events that's leading to crime. And I don't think that like mass deportation or strengthening the security of our borders in a way that would minimize the amount of people we allow to come in here and become American citizens. I don't think that would be the effective solution to this chain of events that you're referring to that leads to crime, because exploitation leads to poverty, poverty leads to bitterness or hopelessness, which can lead to crime. And I 100% agree that that is a very natural chain of events that we've seen take place throughout history, hundreds of thousands of times, and in our day-to-day lives, hundreds of thousands of times. But the solution, like the problem here, the very root of this chain of events is the way we treat immigrants. And the fact that immigrants are living in this country, functioning in our society, participating as working class.
Questions. Sounds like a lot of.
This is just the pretext for the question.
Yeah. Demi's been bottling a lot up. Let her say what she wants to say.
Okay.
Essentially, the TLDR is you're like Moediggity says we have a problem with immigrants. We should restrict immigration because immigrants are often exploited in this country, and I think the very restrictions that we place on immigrants is the reason for this chain of events, which leads to problems from immigrants. And this is all in spite of the fact that they proportionately commit less crime than documented citizens do. They commit less crime, and the crime that they would be led to commit on the basis of them being an immigrant would be from exploitation leading to poverty, leading to hopelessness or bitterness or, desperation.
Let me know when I can jump in
word. Here. This chain of events that you're referring to, I believe that the cause of this is the very restrictions that we place on immigrants.
That's good.
Do you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So
yeah.
here's what I would like to. Hold on, real quick. Here's what I would like to propose, and I will let you talk first, Squeebo. I just don't want it to devolve. So as this debate goes on, it's kind of going in circles. So here's what I would like to propose, because we do have two other topics on our docket tonight. Is after Squeebo makes whatever point they're about to make, and Moediggity briefly responds, we get closing statements from Moediggity and Squeebo, and we move on. That is what I'm proposing here.
Just for the sake of time, yeah.
So Squeebo, go ahead and say what you're about to say. Mo can respond, and then we'll go around to get closing statements.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a language you can understand, old man. Okay. Let's say you just told your dirtiest, secretiest secret to your best friend in middle school, alright? He cannot tell anybody, alright? and he's like, oh shit, now I have dirt on you. So you let him, like, push you around, kind of tease you about it, but, like, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna get angry, I'm not gonna say anything.
I think I know where this is going,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
Because I know if I say anything or if I ask him to stop, he's just gonna be like, he's either gonna say, I know that secret, or he's just gonna straight up tell you.
Everybody go listen to Demigloom's queer backstory.
So
the middle school PSA episode.
You're naturally inclined to not say anything because you don't want your secret out, because you but, like, take that to an extreme where you could be, like, you could be put in a situation where you and your children die, you know? Also, another thing is, when we close the border for 10 years, do you want to keep these good faith, like, women with their 3 children stuck with these scary single men who are just want to do crime?
You're missing the points of all that, and you're going to immediately every single... anyway, all right, go ahead, keep going. It's just frustrating that I think that's a legitimate point, and you're kind of like, dismissing that.
Okay.
Because Squeebo didn't talk for like 2 minutes, so I think Mo's good.
I think you're high, and your perception of time is very warped.
I'm not high, actually, but my perception of time is probably warped.
Sir, it's high. How are you?
I promise you I'm not. Well, I guess maybe. I don't know.
See, if you have to question it, just take the L.
I took a very small amount of edible marijuana this morning, and I do not think I am high anymore.
You're at that point of the pothead life where, like, you just, like, being high is kind of just a constant reality, and whether or not you're high is just, like, a very blurry line.
Yeah,
I'll be right back in just 2 seconds.
It's a question I have to analyze and answer with facts and logic.
Okay, we'll wait for Mo to get back, and then Squeebo can finish their response, and then...
I think this is going well. I'm glad that we only got 2 topics.
No, we're doing the other 2, Squeebo. That's why we're closing statements here. We gotta get to those other 2.
Da-dee-da.
Squeebo's excited. Squeebo, listen, no matter how bad this gets, the Kathy one's gonna be worse. So take solace in the fact that this night will not be as bad as the one you will have with Kathy in a week or 2.
I'm unironically excited.
Alright, I'm back.
But that was just gonna be sad. Like,
let's not talk about the Kathy one right now.
Let's not talk about the Kathy one.
I want to savor the amount of not Kathy that I have in my life to the best of my ability.
You have to savor all the not Kathy you can get. It's very.
I love that whenever Riely left, like, we know it all gets cut out, but, like, we know that he's laughing because we hear the panting. We hear the post laugh pant.
the post. Shut the fuck up. All right, Squeebo, finish your point.
I think that's my point. I mean, I do admit I'm wildly misinterpreting Mo's point about, like, the 10 years thing. But, like, I feel like you should give me some lenience because he's been misinterpreting my points this entire time.
Well, like, you're kind of going, like, too far into the emotional realm where you try. If I disagree with you, I look like a bad person, and I kind of get I resent that a little.
No, I'm. You're right. I am fishing for something.
I feel like emotional appeals as a fallacy is kind of a fallacy in itself, because I feel like the emotional aspect is very important.
Yeah, but you can just guilt trip people. Just go, well, what?
No, I'm
like
not
this
guilt
if you
tripping
cry
you.
every time.
It's a real thing that would happen if what you're proposing went into effect. It's not like a butterfly effect. Somebody is eventually going to be sad if this happens. It's like this will happen. You know.
But
I don't think pointing out the human suffering that something would cause is, like, guilt tripping.
Well, I mean, y'all are basically kind of saying that no one, that everyone else doesn't want to step up, and help with this problem that we're all having. That's got to be exclusively us because everyone just told us to go fuck ourselves and doesn't want to put forth the effort into trying helping us out with this sort of thing.
Even though is Mo going to respond to any point that we make, or is he just going to is his brain just going to hear completely random political discourse and just respond?
Demigloom, you're doing really good at the old man from the Muppets role. Let me moderate for a second. So listen, it's time. Closing statements. Mo went first for openings, so Squeebo has to go first for closing.
Wait, Mo didn't get a chance to respond to Squeebo's point.
Okay, well, Mo, do you have additional response to Squeebo's point?
All right, so what was it? You were basically fishing for to see if I don't have any empathy because I want to close the
you're wildly misinterpreting my point now.
I'm not misinterpreting it. I'm trying to figure out what the point ultimately was. What is the ultimate point that you're trying to make? What the question you're trying to ask?
Just very quickly re-explain your point.
Okay, so we're gonna keep all of these bad people out of America, but we're also gonna keep out all of the good people, the quote unquote good immigrants. But then Mexico is gonna have all of the quote unquote bad immigrants, and then all of the quote unquote good immigrants are gonna have to live with the bad. It's just such a totalitarian move. Nobody is allowed for 10 whole years. 10 years is a while,
a long fucking time.
It's a long time.
Almost half of my existence.
It doesn't have to be 10 years. I kind of said 10 years because I thought that was a good
You've been falling back on 10 years for so long.
Well,
and
it's just... Well, yeah, but
all right.
I mean,
we have reiterated their point. Moediggity, respond to it.
All right. So in that case, maybe the other countries could help us out with this a little bit while we have the borders closed, while we try to sort out everything for the people that we have here, both undocumented, legal, and American-born citizens. I mean, this isn't really that big of a deal. I don't see why we can't, it's like, tidying up the house before guests show up. Except it's done on a national fucking scale.
But your guests are gonna die if you don't let them in.
They're not gonna fucking die. Then literally Mexico is a fucking villainous country, and we should fucking treat them like fucking every other terrible country.
There are 100 rabid dogs chasing your friend right now.
Oh,
if you don't let them in right now, they're gonna die.
That's not the same.
All right. That's it. We've reached the point where it's closing statement time.
No.
Squeebo,
this is literally going to go on forever.
Yes, we have to close
statements. Are chasing your friend. You're like, hang on, I gotta make my bed. You're not even gonna be in my room, but I gotta make my bed, bro. Squeebo. Besides, for those 10 years, we're gonna go into ruin because...
Squeebo, this is your closing statement.
We're going around. Okay. Folks, that's the end of the one-on-one debate. I will now unmute Squeebo and Moediggity one at a time to give their closing statements, and that will be the end of this debate. So Squeebo is up first. Please give a brief, succinct closing statement about your arguments when I unmute you, which is right now. Not quite right now, actually. I fucked it up. Right now.
Shit. I did not mean to do that.
What did you do?
Nothing.
God damn it.
By the way, Discord soundboards don't get recorded in Craig. I don't know if you didn't know that.
I'm aware. I'm very aware. Okay.
I still hate them from me.
My closing statement. I know Mo isn't super firm on this statement, but just hypothetically, if we close the border permanently for 10 years, got all of those undocumented immigrants, got them taken away by ICE. We didn't even talk about the kids in cages in the concentration camps, but whatever.
Which Moediggity did not mention. He said only get rid of people who have committed crimes.
Okay, thank you. Get rid of any undocumented immigrant that commits a crime within the 10 years. We like people will die, children will die. Yeah, you're a sociopath, Mo, for having this take. I do not trust you around children.
Jesus Christ, Squeebo.
I know he's seething right now. I'm gonna make use of my Mo is muted time. The workforce is going to be severely impacted. Undocumented people doing cheap labor is the backbone of America. It's scary. It's awful, but it's true. You would not have a comfortable life if undocumented immigrants were never allowed into America. And like, there's so much we couldn't talk about, like how the majority of undocumented immigrants don't choose to be undocumented. It's just that Border Patrol straight up lies to them and like takes them to concentration camps before they can declare asylum.
He's screaming in the recording chat.
Oh my god, I feel like this picture seems a little.
Let's not talk about that. That's nothing to do with anything. Objection relevance.
Maybe delete that from your memes for owning the libs folder. When the military police eventually raid your home and take your guns, like you always ask them to do, come and take them.
Oh, okay. This is irrelevant.
Okay, sorry.
Objection
Yeah,
relevant.
it's very irrelevant. I'm just having fun.
You're just really taking advantage of him being muted.
No,
right.
Wait, I'm calling a filibuster. I'm allowed to talk for however long I want. As long as I don't stop talking. You keep me unmuted, and you keep Mo unmuted. Okay,
you have about
okay,
two
basically,
sentences left, and
the
you're
story
getting
of
muted. It's Mo's turn.
The story of Judge's Bizarre Adventure starts out in 1800s, in the 1800s of.
Thank you, Darren.
I did it for you.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for Moediggity's closing statement. Moediggity, you have been freed.
Filibuster, Precambrian, Precontorito. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah. First off, goddamn. Fucking Squeebo made a really great case of why we need a slave labor fucking class. Apparently, this is all they see fucking legal and illegal immigrants are good for. Is all the fucking bullshit, pain in the ass, nitpicky fucking jobs that Americans don't want to do, guys. I mean, we've had so many problems trying to get Americans fucking jobs, but they just don't want to do all the jobs that, all these other people allegedly are made to fucking do, right? So this is the typical leftist, we need a slave class, and that's our immigrants. Blah, 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 backbone American society, blah, blah, blah. No one will ever fucking do any fucking construction jobs because Americans hate fucking plant work and fucking warehouse work and construction work. We just fucking hate it. We just want to sit on our asses and fucking do anything. Oh, god damn. That's fucking so infuriating to be constantly fucking talked down to by motherfuckers who fucking act like Americans don't want to fucking do shit. The myth of the fucking American who doesn't want to do these jobs is such fucking bullshit. There's so many people in America who are at fucking unemployment fucking places like welfare lines, fucking bread lines and stuff, who are just trying to make it day to fucking day. They would love to have some of these shitty jobs that, quote, Americans don't want to fucking do. That's absolute fucking bullshit. And it fucking infuriates me further that you won't call out Mexico or any country in Central America for not trying to pull their fucking weight and try to help out illegal immigrants the best they fucking can. They, having the border closed would not result in a fucking mass fucking catastrophe. You know what would happen? Rabble, rabble, rabble. I'm angry. Protest, protest, blah, blah, blah. And then they would fuck off somewhere else. They would walk off somewhere else to another fucking country. The idea that they're just going to be hunted down like fucking dogs and stuff by other fucking people in their home countries or in another country and stuff is absolute fucking bullshit. It's not fucking happening. All right. And I would love to see some fucking proof that Central America and Mexico are hunting down these illegal immigrants who are fucking trying to get to America. I'd love to see some shit like that. You know, I'd love to fucking see that. Anyway, you know, 10 years, I guess, maybe a bit long. I don't know. 10 years just sound like a good number to me. Maybe we could do it in 3 or 5 or 1 or a couple of months or maybe over a weekend. I don't fucking know. 10 years kind of sound like a good thing. Maybe that in my mind that could give us enough time to figure shit out. And thank you, Demi and Riely, for constantly correcting Squeebo every time they try to pull some bullshit like, oh, just wants to get rid of all the illegals here. I was like, no, I just want to get rid of some of the fucking ones that are actually caught committing crimes, like arrested right then and there. I must have said that point like a million fucking times. Now it's 1,000,000 now. But yeah, okay. That's my ending. That's my closing statement on it.
Now, before we unmute Squeebo for the next debate, I would just like to say that, you know, the last couple times, it may be known to some folks out there that I have described Squeebo the Last as annoying. And the last couple of times I've spoken to Squeebo, I've started to think, you know, maybe that was unreasonable. Maybe I like Squeebo more than I initially thought I did. Then they go into the recording chat and just start spamming DM me pic, please. And I remember why maybe I don't like to talk to them so much.
They were doing so good. Come on, Riely.
Come on, sorry, I relapsed.
This is funny.
You annoying relapse. They have a problem. At least they've acknowledged it. That's the first step. But all right, folks.
I'd like to formally invite Squeebo to become a member of the issue crew.
You don't have that power. Earlier in the night, I was considering it, but now I don't know.
Literally because of this recording chat bullshit?
I'm joking, mostly. It is something I would legitimately consider, but it's not a conversation we're going to have right now. Because the conversation we're going to have right now is about Ukraine, baby!
All right, real quick, before we start everything. Okay, that was a long-ass immigration debate. Do we even really have time on gun violence, which is a 3-hour fucking combo?
Okay. I want to hear the gun thing. So let's skip Ukraine then.
Maybe we can... No. I want to talk about the Ukraine because that's going to be a lot of fun. But like gun violence is going to be like a real serious fucking thing. I got like 4 or 5 stats. So maybe we can have like a debate part 2 where we can talk about gun violence and shit. I'm totally down for that.
Squeebo also has to debate Kathy. This is not Squeebo Debates the World, the podcast.
I'm saying that we can do a part 2 later on for gun violence and maybe another subject. Since gun violence is probably going to be as long as the immigration debate, which I was not prepared for, but, you know, still fun. Yeah, because I think the Ukraine's going to be like a good wrap-up. I don't think I have any more.
That is fair, and 3 is better, because I'm definitely putting who won straw polls in the description, and 3 would mean that there will actually be a definitive winner. So, yes, we will end it with the Ukraine debate. So, folks... we got some opening statements. Let's give real opening statements this time instead of just getting into the debate right away. Mo gave the opening statement first last time, so I feel like Squeebo should do it this time. So Squeebo, opening statement. Moediggity.
Okay, opening statement. Opening statement. I've got maybe like 15 minutes. I just want to educate Mo a little bit, just a little bit.
Are you going to educate me on the
let's give a real
2-minute
time limit on opening statements then, so there can be a debate in that 15 minutes. So 2 minutes, go.
Okay, never mind. I gotta go.
What?
You gotta go? Yeah. No fucking way. I want to be educated on the Ukraine. Drive me insane.
It's 10 p.m. and it's a school night. It's a school night, and I gotta turn in all my devices. Okay. I will happily educate you on the Ukraine.
All right,
Another
Squeebo
time.
versus Mo Part 2. Ukraine gone insane. Plus fucking gun
Ukraine
violence.
got
Insane
insane. Perfect title. Yeah, I would be totally open to doing this again.
No, these are definitely called Epic Debate Mo versus Squeebo, and then Kathy versus Squeebo, and then Mo versus Squeebo Part 2. You know, that's the naming convention.
Am I being the moderator for that one? I thought there was a talk about me doing a mod.
There was
thing.
a talk about you moderating that one. I'm starting to think maybe I should just moderate from now on.
No, I would totally love to fucking do that. Like, what are y'all going to be talking about?
Returning to like traditional Christian values as a family. I think she's just gonna spout. I think she's just gonna spout some shit about like how her boyfriend shouldn't have had the right to divorce her.
I'm gonna get a community guideline strike for this debate. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it'll be TLDR. Women belong in the kitchen. Traditional man patriarchal roles. Yada yada blah.
Moediggity, as long as you are, which Demigloom proved she is not. As long as you are capable of not getting involved and giving your political opinion, you
Demi
can moderate
did pretty
the
good
debate.
for a little while.
Yeah, I'll keep on
good for a little while, but she broke.
We gotta wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up. All right.
People, you can leave. We can wrap it up without you.
Yeah.
Okay. Find me at twitter.com/soupteeth. That's SOOPTEETH.
Is that you?
Yes, that's me.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Realizing that
I didn't know
literally
that.
Squeebo on Twitter.
No, I didn't know that. All right, yeah, because I have that person muted. I thought you. I didn't.
No, you have me blocked.
I have you blocked.
All right. Yeah, you do. I'm so sad that I don't get to see your libertarian memes anymore.
This whole time, I thought Moediggity was doing this debate knowing that this was like his longtime Twitter rival.
No, I didn't know that at all. I thought I was just getting called out on some bullshit.
Yeah, I was just a passerby when you guys were debating Ukraine on Twitter.
Oh, okay, all right. So, what's your name? Soup?
Soup Teeth.
Soup Teeth. That's SOOPTEETH. Soup Teeth. All right. Well, I had fun. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye. You did great.
Thank you.
That was right? That was Cap.
No, that was not Cap. Are you kidding me? They had a lot of great points.
Did fine. I'm kidding. I think you don't. I think you both did fine. I think there was just the immigration topic ended up being a lot heavier than we imagined it would be.
Yeah, and I didn't expect to be talking about immigration. I had like nothing prepared for immigration at all whatsoever. I just had like a vague idea of how I think maybe we can try and fucking, fix things, but oh my god, unfathomable nightmares, and Mo just wants to get rid of all the immigrants and all this shit. And I basically I got called basically a Nazi without being called a Nazi tonight.
I would disagree. I don't think that's what happened.
I kind of feel like that's what happened. And lots of appeal to emotion fallacies. I thought it was just going to be a little bit better than that, but whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this overall went well. I think it was an entertaining podcast product at the very least.
You got your spicy hot fucking takes and stuff.
I did. This is Moediggity goes mask off too.
No, it wasn't mask off. Like it's not mask off at all. I mean, it's not really.
I have a different idea for the title.
What?
Since this was like a political debate, you could not put the names of the issue crew hosts in it and name it like something like clickbaity, like racist conservative versus transgender high schooler.
Oh,
debate.
That's like oh god, I hate those so much.
I'm pretty much committed to just the epic debate in all caps : Mo versus Squeebo, and then have that be the naming convention for all future debates.
I didn't think it was that conservative either.
That's stupid.
Well, Demigloom, you're not the one who names the episodes. But I was gonna pose the question at the end of this podcast as to whether having what I was in this scenario, the extra audience member, was a good idea, or if I should just fuck off for the remainder of these. Considering there was a point where I literally had to take over as moderator, perhaps I do need to sit in on these just in case.
See, I don't think I'm incapable of being an unbiased moderator. I just chose not to with this one. It was getting a little ridiculous.
And that's why. you will not be moderating any of these debates in the future.
Yeah, that's fair.
Moediggity or me. Moediggity, unless he proves himself unworthy next time, and me.
No, he's a good
who
moderator.
I
He
think
moderated
has
on Trigger
proven
Warning, and it
myself
was
worthy.
great.
What was he a good moderator then, or is that
On the Nazi debate,
Yeah.
that was Mo.
Yeah.
I know that was Mo. I just don't quite recall his moderation on that.
It was good.
Okay. I have faith that Moediggity will be a good moderator. I think Moediggity is capable of putting his political biases away a little more than you are, which is why Kathy requested Mo be the moderator rather than you, and why I was already going to request that myself. But all right, gamers, that's it for the first installment of Epic Debates. And yeah, I almost forgot how the end of the show works. Demigloom, where can our listeners find you?
Listen,
Okay.
if you like me,
Yeah.
go listen to Middle School GSA, the great leftist LGBTQ plus podcast that I host with my good friend Felonious Ferris. Squeebo will be on that at some point. It unfortunately didn't work out the first time we tried to record with them, but we talk about a variety of issues from a trans/LGBTQ plus perspective. The last episode we recorded is about the Manosphere, and I'm still waiting over almost a week after recording for Felonious Ferris to finish the cover art.
Just released it. Why'd you make a custom thumbnail that wasn't gonna be used?
I don't know, man.
Why put in that effort?
It's like I don't have OCD, but it feels like an obsessive compulsion.
Like you could have just Google image searched Andrew Tate and just put that as the thumbnail until you got art.
Well, see, that was like gonna be the backup thumbnail, but I decided against using that at all because it was terrible.
I would decide on using it, considering you are now 3 days late on releasing the podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll beat my head up against the wall if I talk about the.
Pretty sure we're 4 days late, by the way.
I hate those bastards so much.
But Moediggity, where can our listeners find you?
Everyone can find me at MSGOfficialYT at twitter.com. I'm just chilling out there, where apparently you can find all my super duper hot libertarian takes. You know, about the Ukraine that I can't stop talking about, even though I haven't talked about it in a while. I don't know, just fucking find me on there.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Link tree with all my shit on there and all that stuff. Well, all right, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I'm very mad at Squeebo, because had they informed me an hour ago that they had a hard cutoff of 11 p.m., I would have seeked out those closing statements a lot fucking sooner, so we could have talked about Ukraine. I'm kind of mad that I was not forewarned about that shit. But you know, life goes on. You can find me on Twitter at Riely Tweets. That's RIELY Tweets. There's a pinned tweet that has my Linktree link, which is also in the description. And it leads you to a link, a link tree, if you will, some sort of a tree of links that has all my shit on there, podcasts, social medias, what have you. Check it out. And thank you all for listening to the Issue Crew this week. I feel like we should, unless like Kathy can't make it next Monday. What the fuck just happened? Did something happen?
I assume Craig left and joined, or one of them.
God. Have the bots been fucking up and I just haven't been paying attention?
No, it's fine. Go ahead and say your thing.
Holy shit. Oh no. Never mind, we're good. I was looking at something else. Okay. Shit. I don't remember what I was saying. Well, it's over, gamers. Unless Kathy can't make it the Monday after but can make it next Monday, I would surmise that we should do like a normal, less heavy episode next week, and then the week after we can do Kathy versus Squeebo. So tune in next week for a normal fun discussion between Issue Crew hosts and not Squeebo the Last or Kathy. And yeah, thank you for listening to the Issue Crew. I've been Riely.
I've been Mo.
I've been Demetrio.
And I've been Squeebo the last. Thank you, Squeebo. Thank you. And
Yeah, that's what Squeebo sounds like.
and we'll see you next time.